Men are gonna come along and want to teach you things. Doesn't make them any smarter.
The pandemic has definitely upped our binge-watching game. Somehow, despite all the binge-watching you've likely done all pandemic long, there are still new-to-you series on Netflix just waiting to be discovered and devoured. In today's episode, we'll be looking at 10 Netflix series you need to see in 2021. But before we get going, make sure to hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell for regular updates from our channel. Let's dive in. Number 10, Bridgerton.
You've always amused me, Miss Bridgerton, ever since I was
To start with, we have Bridgerton on top of our list. This bold and sexually charged Netflix period drama, based on Julia Quinn's romance novels, follows the 8 Bridgerton siblings as they search for true love and attempt to remain in the good graces of Lady Whistledown. Although all of the Bridgerton siblings appear during the show's 8 episodes, the first season takes a deeper look into the life of the elder sister, Daphne, played by Phoebe Dynevor. With only 8 episodes and plenty of cliffhangers and dramas to keep you hooked, you'll tear through the series in a matter of days.
About that.
It would be better if you refrained from thinking about me at all.
Number 9, Jane the Virgin.
For 2 years and you haven't boned. He might move up your timeline.
Jane the Virgin had been a favourite among many when it premiered back in 2014. But it is only recently, after its series finale, that the show gained popularity on Netflix. The show introduces us to a Venezuelan-American girl, Jane Villanueva, who gets artificially inseminated by accident during a routine medical checkup. To make the show all the more dramatic, the donor happens to be her former crush, who is also her boss. Yikes! This show is a 10 on 10 recommendation for binge watching, as it'll leave you satisfied at the end and leave your heart full of love for grilled cheese.
So, Jane, are you?
Oh my god.
Number 8, Schitt's Creek.
Do I have to remind you of the time that I was taken hostage on David Geffen's yacht by some...
Next on our list is the Canadian sitcom Schitt's Creek, which has been making big headlines by bagging up 7 Primetime Awards and 9 Emmys in all in its 6th and final season. The show follows the Roses, a perfectly imperfect, once wealthy family that falls on hard times. They're forced out of their lives of the rich and famous and into a middle-of-nowhere town called Schitt's Creek that Rose originally purchased as a joke. The Rose family tries to rebuild their old lives and finds themselves building new ones instead. Schitt's Creek makes you laugh your head off, and it will surely leave you shedding a tear or two at the end.
In the street! Okay, well, I'm just gonna go home.
Number 7, The Crown.
I do. Which is why it's so important.
With a budget equally as lavish as the premise and setting of the show, Netflix's The Crown is a historical drama that tells the story of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. From her rise as a young, newlywed royal in 1947 into becoming one of the most powerful and iconic rulers the world has ever witnessed. The Emmy-winning historical drama leaves no stone unturned in its exploration of the royal family and its rich history of scandal, tragedy, and notoriety. Since its premiere, the drama's success grew even further and has bagged a number of awards, most recently taking home Golden Globes for Emma Corrin and Gillian Anderson's performances as Princess Diana and Margaret Thatcher.
Hands on the edge of catastrophe.
Number 6, Good Girls.
Much of a church person.
You're definitely a stuck-up bitch.
Good Girls follows a trio of middle-class mums who turn to crime in a bid to resolve their financial troubles. While they start off robbing a local grocery store for extra cash, they end up embroiled in serious crimes such as money laundering, drug trafficking, and worse, along with some seasoned criminals and scary characters. The series is definitely a bingeable one over a lazy weekend. Shadow and Bone.
You meant a great option.
You won't believe me, but it was a sun summoner.
Number Number 5, The Queen's Gambit.
Among all those men, I don't mind it.
The Queen's Gambit, adapted from the novel by Walter Tevis, has taken the world by storm as the most watched limited series on Netflix. And it's also caused chess set sales to skyrocket. This 7-episode miniseries follows the journey of a young orphan, Beth Harmon, through the world of competitive chess as she faces heartbreak, loss, and her own struggle with addiction. During her teenage years, she's adopted by an unhappy couple. Later, she begins to support her adoptive mother by participating in chess tournaments and winning them all. You'll definitely want to brush up on your chess moves after binge watching this one.
You're going to be all alone, so you need to figure out how to take care of yourself.
Number 4, Black Mirror.
There is a small medical procedure involved.
Sorry for a game.
Black Mirror is an anthology television series that premiered in 2011 on Channel 4, but it received all the attention after Netflix released the first 6 episodes in 2016. Currently running on Season 5, the show has managed to keep its authenticity and originality throughout the years. The show's plot revolves around the technology of the present and the technology of our future, and how they could lead to mankind's downfall. All the episodes are unique and not interlinked, so you can start and stop anywhere at any point of the show. Although Season 6 of the show is still a question mark, let's hope Black Mirror does make it back to our screens soon.
Happy. A 2-year-old with a fucking balloon isn't this happy.
Number 3, Shadow and Bone.
Tell me what happened in the fall.
If you're missing Game of Thrones, Netflix's newest fantasy series is right up your alley. Shadow and Bone on Netflix, based on Leigh Bardugo's best-selling Grecian novels, captures the fantasy and dystopian genres through the eyes of war and has been applauded by audiences for its breathtaking visuals and beautiful storytelling. The fantasy series follows a teen orphan named Alina Starkov, who discovers she has an extraordinary power that could change the fate of her war-torn world. It can take a couple of episodes to get into Shadow and Bone, but once you're invested in its story and characters, Shadow and Bone is a world you can easily get lost in.
Can you summon light?
Number 2, Emily in Paris.
It's a French, some American tricks.
Has anyone noticed this is a...
Netflix's Emily in Paris has taken the world by storm, with its entertaining storyline and questionable decisions made by the show's main character, Emily Cooper. Emily becomes lost in translation when she moves from Chicago to Paris for work and enters a new world she could never have imagined. Her new boss despises her, she can't speak French, and she's in love with her new friend's boyfriend. Although the first season has only limited episodes, it has proved to be enough to keep one busy for a few days at least.
I have some ideas about marketing to Laura that I would like to share with you.
It's very sexy, no?
Number 1, Ginny and Georgia.
I picked up a few things. We cleaned out the baby section at Barnes & Noble.
If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, then you need to watch Ginny and Georgia. With a very similar premise, looking at the sweet and tender mother and daughter relationship between the 30-year-old single mother Georgia and her very headstrong teenage daughter Ginny. The Netflix series is very reminiscent of the 2000s drama. Each episode brings in new stories and incidents, along with the love interests of certain characters, misleading tales between people, brand new friendships, a city mayoral election, petty social cliques, and to spice things up, a criminal scheme. Fans are already calling out for the second season of Ginny and Georgia. While that's highly likely, it hasn't been officially confirmed yet.
God, Jenny. It's you. You're so big.
With that, we've reached the end of our video. Let us know which other series you would add to the list in the comments section below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe for more amazing content. Stay tuned.
The only man I've ever seen her love is my dad, and that never ends well.
She promised that this time would be different, but everywhere has problems.